Welcome to today's collective reading. This is Trinity Gaia Oracle. This is more of an impromptu reading. I got a new deck, and that's why you guys are seeing this. Whenever I get a new deck, I like to spend some time with the deck. I like to kind of do a couple readings for myself, get acquainted, do some rituals with it, like, crystals, or some people, they like to do essential oils, like an anointing, meditate with them. Whatever it may be for you when you get a new deck, I like to spend some time getting familiar with it. And wow, the download that I got, guys, if you resonated with the reading that I posted most recently about the, past life soul connection, the deep soul connection, this reading touches on very similar energies. It feels very connected because it may help to understand what's going on now. Because the two of you have been through hell. And you've been through hell. You've been through it, meaning it's past tense. This is the beauty of the neurolinguistic. When you relate to it as past tense, it's not still happening, right? So, power to that, right? So you guys, you've been through hell, and you're a little, like your sensitivity is very much in place for sensing certain kinds of interactions. So I'm just going to use an example, and I'm going to use it of like their perspective and how frustrating it is on your side to perceive their struggle and their inability to see you clearly because, well, it's all they've ever known. Why would you be any different? Right? You catch that? Yeah. So there was a number synchronicity in one of the earlier attempts at recording this, which was 11:44, and I just saw 11:55, and it ticked over to 6. So this is mirrored, and it's the two of your foundations. It's like you're going, okay, you got this, check. You got that, check. I got this, check. The 5-5 is you two are kind of in a state where you're out in the cold from one another. You may not be communicating. This very well may be like a silence the two of you have a very hard time crossing because of your own experiences on your own sides. And no matter how much you know the other person can heal that, you're kind of in a state where you need a little help to be able to bridge that gap. And that's what this reading is. This is divine intervention right here, guys. And I'm going to ground it where you can relate to it in a way that isn't so like, oh, so there's some powerful being out there that, just comes down and whoosh, saves everything. This is very personal to you. This is not like some alien outside force that you're like, okay, so there's another like wicked powerful consciousness here that it has a say. No, this is going to ground it in for you. This is very personal. The divine intervention here, 8 now, this is infinity, okay? Your loop, your connection is sealed, okay? There was a third energy that really wanted to hijack this and tag along indefinitely, but y'all kicked its ass. And you kicked its ass by choosing to love yourself, to know yourself. The courage to be selfish and chase your joy has led you to freedom with each other. It's just, you're both a little rough around the edges right now. So, I'm gonna turn this card over now and I'm gonna read it for you guys. And I'll describe the basic imagery throughout the reading as it applies. So, the card that came out, and this is a pretty thick deck. I mean, like, I have a hard time shuffling it in a way that only one card could come out. So this is not coincidence. And just the power of what came through was so apparent. You need to share this. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens here. So, a third perspective is the title. To find common ground in conflict. There's that, like being out in the cold from one another. You're not communicating somewhere where you need to. Oh, wow. Okay. So, I'm going to repeat this. It came through. This was this way for a reason. You two needed to find one another through the spiritual connection first to be able to integrate more fully into the beauty and celebration that life together is. This is for the first time that they encountered you. Yeah, this may not be for everyone in this reading, but some of you, this is someone who's coming back around. You're coming back around. This is second chance. This is, you encountered one another initially. You realized that there was a lot more healing that needed to be done on both sides. So all of that was put into play. And now you're coming back together having learned those lessons. So now you can really live the life together fully authentically, which is what you both longed for. That can be triggering in and of itself. And that's what this is about. Okay. I couldn't ignore that because it was very, very pointedly from source, from divine. Okay. And that can be your own guides coming through, communicating. To find common ground in conflict, imagine mediating between two parties, you and the other person. So what would that be like to be in between yourself and this other person, trying to mediate for the two of you? What a challenge, right? What would a neutral observer suggest as a fair resolution? Ooh, well, you only have your perspective to mediate between the two of you. Could you really be neutral? Because you only know your side, right? Mm-hmm. This approach depersonalizes the conflict and opens the door to compromise. And that's why this person is not a counselor. This person is not a counselor. This person, this mediator, this third energy in Trinity is the divine within the two of you. Now, the imagery is of three people sitting on a bench in an art gallery, looking at an image before them that is a splash of different colors, ranging from vibrant orange, which is in the middle, just this brilliant fire, to blues predominantly on the left and mixing with orange. There's a lot more orange and purple on the right, and it really reminds me of like a butterfly wing. The individual in the middle is a male, and he has different features that set him apart. He's wearing it looks like a denim t-shirt, khakis. All three of them are wearing khakis, so they have that in common. They seem to all be wearing white shoes. So there's a symbolism of continuity, consistency. On the right side, the female form is wearing a yellow shirt. So her challenge could have been personal power. That would explain why she's got this vibrant butterfly wing with purples. And she's got brown hair, curly, long. The figure on the other side of this mediator, in the middle of this male, who they're just staring in contemplation at these images. It's like they're all they can see. They're not looking at one another. They're not interacting. They're fully immersed in the image before them. So this female on the other side of him, she has blue hair, and it's more wavy, not curly, and it's long. She's wearing a blue shirt. So her challenge, blue, blue, blue. is communication, how to speak her truth. And this implies the receptivity to the lesson. It's why the two forms are feminine. The mediator is going to be male because they're actively in a role of mediating. They're not supposed to be predominantly receptive. They're busting their booty, trying to bring the two of you together. And their image is just this vibrant. It's almost like a volcanic eruption in its passion. What's interesting, there's a lot more action to the left side. There's less of the yellow vibrancy to the right, more blue. So the challenge with the left side is action, 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 grounding, safety, creation, personal power, which is the mirroring effect. Because in my mind, I was seeing kind of contradictory to, first impression, but the female on the right, I was identifying more with personally myself. So that goes to show you that you can be male or female, because typically the right side is a symbol for masculinity, for active. That's why readers will tap the deck in their left hand with their right hand 3 times for Trinity. It's actively choosing to receive information, moving from right to left. So, duality here. Please suspend the gender and just be consciousness. Just be consciousness. It's challenging. Oh my gosh, it's so challenging with all the programming we have. Oh my goodness. But it's like a muscle. The more that you attempt to do this, to just see them as a conscious being, not as a man or a woman or an age or a job title or the position they hold in their family, a third born, firstborn, any of that. Just suspend all of that and try to see them as a consciousness that was always making the best decision they could in the moment they were in. I feel like that's this mediator coming through right now for you. So this mediator, the profound download, mediator is the two of you in union. Come back to help you. I almost feel like saying drop mic and giving a couple of seconds to just let that sink in. It's such a profound statement. This is why this individual in the middle can be neutral. Because your soul, and because I'm looking at this like this is two beings that are one soul that chose to incarnate as two beings to better understand duality in themselves, because they'd already learned and mastered the lessons, then brought them to that, okay, it's time for me to now separate into two conscious beings, because I've learned all of it as one that I can. So it was a graduation, right? Now, the individual in the middle, this mediator, that is the next graduation. That is the going back into one being, having learned all of these lessons. This tells me that you too reach this point, or this mediator would not be here, and I would not be channeling them right now to help you to find your middle ground and compromise. That's why the emphasis is on stop seeing the archetype, stop seeing the filter, stop seeing the roles as the emphasis of trying to understand each other. Start seeing them as a consciousness that made the best decision they could at every moment. And you'll begin to find that middle ground. So maybe you were born a man. Well, what if you were born a woman? You would still be aware of yourself. How would you have responded to life differently if you had been born a woman instead of a man? These are questions that can kind of help you go, well, yeah, I mean, like, how would I have handled that? I know how I would think I would handle that given my life that I've lived from this side. And that's the beauty of the mediator in the middle. They know all of it. They're in complete union. There is no barrier between the two of you. This mediator is you. And if there is one thing that I have learned in this experience, myself, of being alive and being a self-aware person and watching and being aware and observing this experience, not just going through it myself, but observing it play out in lives around me, is that we all just really want to be happy. That's what we want. We want to be free and we want to be happy. And no matter what I have gone through, when I have encountered a version of me who has made it a point to communicate directly with me in my time, I knew that that did not change, that it would never change, that I would never betray myself, because I always know that I will choose the path that leads to the most likely and optimized experience of happiness that I could possibly reach for. So whatever this version of me is coming to me in that moment to communicate, they're giving me a heads up. They're saying, hey, don't turn right here because left is a clearly better idea. It's way better on the left side. Turn left here. Or straight up, you need to create a whole new path. You need to move deeper into your relationship with your creative self, with your source, with divine. And what do you want this path to look like? Because option A and option B, left or right, they're not going to work the way you want them to. It's not going to be what you actually want. So you're limitless in this. You are. You are limitless in this. You have far more power than, I want to say interested forces outside of you want you to be aware that you have. And maybe even more aware, like you have more than you're aware. Oh my gosh, it's that's not the right word. They're getting me tongue tied here. It's also something you experience in self. It's something you experience within yourself. You are more powerful than even you realize. They don't even know fully. Oh, sorry, I just bumped the mic. They don't even know fully how powerful you are, but they would like to create reality through you if they can get you to believe you're limited, right? So that's why I reached for this deck, because this is taking back your power to program your own mind and take care of your own mind. If you think of your body like a temple for your soul, for your I amness, your consciousness to occupy, this is a means of removing the extra. Like, if it were a dirty floor, this is you sweeping the dirt up, of maintaining this space. Of going, I don't want this here. I don't want that here. This shouldn't be here. This shouldn't be there. This shouldn't, and sometimes it's the imperfections that add character to the experience. The metaphor I'm getting is from the movie. It had, oh gosh, Matt Damon in it, and I'm not thinking of the word, but I'm going to describe. I don't have the title at the tip of my tongue. I'm in like full channel mode right now, so that's just a little out of reach. But I have the plot, the message. So the concept was that there was a whole colony of humans that lived off planet, but orbited planet, and they were ridiculously rich. Oh my gosh, their medical care, money, quality of life, everything was just like the 1%ers of the human population. And they denied the human beings on the planet resources that would radically change the experience of all of humanity. So Matt Damon played a character that was kind of a rebel. He found his way up there, and he made it so every human being had the same level of access, or I believe it was citizenship. So all of those resources of healing, and there was a bed that a mom came up with him, and she put her daughter on it because her daughter was dying, and it just scanned her body and replaced all the bad cells with good cells. Bad, like probably like cancerous, right? Just saved her daughter's life. Couple of seconds. This woman that was using that bed before she showed up, it was like she did it every day, like it was nothing. Like it was taking a shower or brushing her teeth. And it was saving her daughter's life. And this person put it in the same category as brushing their teeth every day. Like to give you an idea, right? Now I got on that tangent, Spirit. Bring me back to center, please, because there's a reason that I spoke about that. There's a reason that came to mind. All right. Spirit will bring me back to it, because now I'm like going down this whole pathway of messages and symbolism and things to speak of from that movie. And it's just, okay, guys. This person in the middle is the two of you in one being. They can be that neutral party. And I am channeling synchronicities. I am channeling for you as that mediator. That whole tangent there, well, it could, if I were to be critical of myself, and some watching may be, could say, oh, well, she really lost it there. No, that had that had life-changing meaning for someone. Life-changing. And I'm not going to second guess it. I want to help people. That's why I'm here. So I'm trusting that came through for a reason. Now, there was a synchronicity that came through in the middle of this, which was 12:12. It is mirrored that this is changing. Okay? So, synchronicities that you're getting, the messages, the connection, because you may be connecting telepathically more and more and more. Trust it. I know, like I said at the beginning, you guys have been through hell. You're rough around the edges. You're hypersensitive, possibly, to anything that even remotely appears to be deceptive or manipulative, or, because, yeah, there is no question that force that I spoke about in the last reading and briefly touched on here, it was using your love for one another to hurt one another. It would come to you possibly even as one another, and it just, they weren't your person. They weren't your person. And the message in that may be that you need to be able to be confident when you do connect telepathically. Like right now, this is something that's coming into play. That you actually are connected to one another. That you know it really is them. And that mediator only wants the best for both of you. They get this, it's like, can you imagine? Let me just put this out there. I don't know how long, how many lifetimes. I don't know if it's, in the afterlife after this life. I don't know. But there's a feeling of a vast amount of time. This mediator has gone through all the challenges that your soul has gone through to get to that point, and now they get to come back and they get to love themselves, you, one in this role, valuing and caring and loving the facets that are unique within them that they see in each of you even more. This being in the middle, this mediator, is you, and is a being that is so filled with love for you both. Now there's a note here, and it's one that that needs to be explored for healing to happen. Sometimes this mediator knows the hurts that need to happen in order for you to be able to heal. That whole concept of, well, if you have a wound and it's infected and there's this nasty, icky, like boil or pussy thing, and the only way that that wound can heal is if it is opened and the pus removed so the medicine can get in. This collective, you guys have been through the removing of the pus. It sucked. It was very uncomfortable. It's horrible. It's nasty. Ugh. You now have the medicine and it's sinking in and healing is occurring because you both chose to go through the pain of having that infection removed. Just like I said in the last reading, you guys have been working your way towards each other the whole time. And in this encounter, your first encounter you probably met in the physical. In this encounter, for the collective, that this is a person that's coming back around. Because there's wisdom in this regardless if that resonates. Alright, sorry about that, guys. My phone was practically dead. I need to charge her up a little bit more, but I'm pretty low on power here right now, so I don't believe in coincidence. There was a reason that that was brought to my attention in that moment and that that occurred at that time. So I'm going to trust spirit and I'm going to leave it there, even if, I may have my own thoughts, my own feelings, as you will going through this yourself. Be kind to yourself. Know that some of this is trusting your new skills, your new abilities and their strength in getting to know these new facets of yourself. Be kind to yourself. It may take a little bit to have confidence that, yeah, that really is something. Regardless, I hope that something in this helped you guys and brought you some comfort, some insight, and if nothing more, to really help you maybe understand someone around you, individuals outside of you, people in the collective that are going through similar things. It gives you insight, and you never know. You never know when there's a synchronicity here that is something that will make sense later. It may not be a sync right now, but it may be a sync later. So if this message resonated with you, brought you some sense of peace or calm, or connected some dots, got you kind of thinking, well, maybe. And if maybe, then that, and that, and you're kind of evaluating. If it brought you into that space, I invite you to comment, subscribe, not for me, but for all the people that could possibly really find that very same resonance because you liked it. You added momentum to that message reaching them because you commented. Your contribution, you are co-creating this. And I am so humbled and grateful to each and every one of you to know that this is helping. It's so amazing. It brings me so much joy, really, to know that from the mud, the lotus does actually bloom, that the wisdom is helping others and their wisdom is helping others, and it's a chain reaction. So claim this if it does resonate. 1, 2, 3. Ascension, ascending numbers. Counting up to, 1, 2, 3, 0. Counting up to Omega. To there not being separation, to there being full union within self. Spirit just amazes me sometimes. So I kind of laugh a little bit there. The divine within me, the love within me, sees and honors the divine and the love within you. Namaste.